welcome back to a new video here at Life with the Bridges. If you missed our last episode, it was a belter as we went to the New Forest to go on a respite weekend on behalf of Lennox Children with Cancer Fund. They gave us an opportunity to go and stay in one of their new lodges on the Shorefield Country Park in the New Forest, and we did exactly that and we had a blast. So if you didn't see that video, go and click the link above to watch it. But coming up in this video, we've got a pretty tough start to the day as Teddy, Katie and my mum are all heading up to Great Ormond Street Hospital to have his 3 monthly bloods. Not only will they be doing his blood test, they will be doing his chimerism to check on his donor percentage, which is going to be a very tough day in the books for Teddy. But not only is it bloods and chimerism that he's having done, they're also going to be having a clinic with our consultant, which is again one of the things we have done every 3 months, just to check on how everything is going our end and also where Teddy is in comparison to the trend of what it looks like post-transplant. And lastly, he is also having something different which he has never had before, and that is a bone density scan. Now the reason he is having this is because it is a precautionary thing they do to all children that have transplant or treatment at certain stages post-transplant, and Teddy is having this bone density scan purely because, as we know with all things treatment and cancer related, the medication that is used to fight off the cancer is incredibly toxic, and the chemotherapy drugs they use can have many side effects going forward, and a reduction in bone health is one of those. And so we are just having this scan as a precautionary post-transplant check, which is just another huge milestone for Teddy, and we are hoping that his bones are well as they can be and it isn't going to show up anything untoward. We've actually been giving him a calcium supplement for the last 2 months now, purely because his diet doesn't contain a lot of dairy. He hasn't drunk milk for months, he doesn't eat cheese or yogurt, so his dairy in his diet is low. And so the downside to that is that when you have blood tests and things to check things like that, low calcium levels wouldn't necessarily show up in the blood. But what it would mean is if the body is lacking calcium, the body tends to draw it from the bones. And that can lead to rickets and bad postural problems and things like that in the future, which is not what we want. So off our own back as parents, with the help of my mum, may I add, because we actually get this supplement from France. But we do give Teddy a calcium supplement and hoping that it is going to sort of help keep his bones, teeth, nail strength in tip-top shape and doesn't lead to any problems. Trips to Great Ormond Street always come with a heavy heart, as not only is it re-entering a place which, let's just say, holds some pretty hard times for us, but also, as a parent, we always wonder and ask the question if he remembers any of his journey in hospital. And in answer to that, we think it's minimal, as I think his memories start from his journey post-treatment, as he is fully aware of what doctors and nurses mean. And that's a potential of someone touching or hurting him with needles. But thankfully, from what he shows us, that's all. So we don't think that Great Ormond Street Hospital has the same hold on him as it does for us, thankfully. And in some ways, the complete opposite. Katie and my mum made this into a day adventure to London to mask the reality of what they were actually going up there for Teddy to experience the train journey and the hustle and bustle of the big London train stations, and then enter a building which has so many fun things to do for children is truly incredible, and also why Great Ormond Street Hospital in London holds the reputation it does of being one of the best children's hospitals in the world. These fun and interactive games for the children to do not only gives them something to engage their mind and interact with, but also removes, or at least softens, that big scary hospital image that I believe a lot of these children unfortunately will believe. The thousands of children a year that come through the doors of this amazing hospital, whether it be for long-term treatment or even small checkups and scans like us, you can see the thought, time and efforts that have gone into this hospital to make it as fun and I guess normal for the children as they possibly can. And for that, as parents that lived in these 4 walls for over 6 months during the hardest days of our life, we are grateful for everything this incredible place does to make a life that is so unfair for these children that little bit happier. First on the agenda was Teddy's bone density scan. Whilst they waited for his time slot, Teddy seemed happy and oblivious to where he actually was. If anything, he was having a whale of a time, but it's when you interrupt his fun and distractions and take him into a room with a person in blue scrubs, his mood instantly changes as he knows something's going to happen. But Teddy did incredibly well for his scan, and we are forever proud of his bravery.
Wow, you're doing so brave. Daddy's going to be so proud. It's just taking photos, sweetheart.
For those who don't know, a child bone density scan uses a low-dose x-ray to measure bone mineral density, which indicates bone strength and fracture risk. The procedure involves a child laying on a table while a scanning arm passes over their body, measuring bone in the spine, hip, and sometimes the arms. The scan helps diagnose bone weakening conditions like osteoporosis and assesses the body composition. With our little superstar successfully completing the scan, Mum and Katie took Teddy down to the Disney Reef, which is also on site within the hospital, which, as expected, Teddy absolutely loved it. I remember when we first walked into the hospital in the first few days after Teddy's diagnosis, I stumbled across this reef when going to get a coffee, and it filled me with warmth, as it makes a place that usually feels so clinical and sad so much more happier and fun. And even for a 34-year-old man, it truly made my day knowing that one day, when Teddy was well enough, we'd be able to come down and show him. And now look at him. With Teddy's Disney box ticked, they made their way up to the outpatients ward, ready to have Teddy's blood test done. But before bloods, they start with measuring his height.
Make sure your feet are all the way to the back for me. All the way to the back. Touch them up for me.
This surprised me how well he did here, as he recently has had a huge problem with people measuring his height. Even the recent theme parks, when trying to measure his height before entering on a ride, it's really upset him. But for a doctor to measure him with no tears was incredible, and his reaction highlights even how proud Teddy was. Up next, Teddy sat on a chair to measure his weight and then had his observations done, which consist of a temperature check, blood pressure and oxygen saturation levels, which he absolutely smashed it.
Let's see if you're as big as the Hulk.
Do you think so, Ted? You big and strong like the Hulk?
There we go, it's a good fit.
Ready? He's going to squeeze.
You've got to stay nice and still, because if not you'll break our machine. It won't give us a good number. We won't see how big you are and how strong you are. So 3, 2, 1. Good job.
Can you hear it cracking?
And then stay nice and still for us.
Don't touch it, Dad.
Just going to hold your arm up for you. There goes. Relax like that. Hopefully we get some good numbers coming in. Oh, not enough of this, I reckon you get a sticker. Nearly done. See them over there. Keep nice and still for me, buddy. Nearly done. You're doing really well. And we've got a really good number. You're really strong. You are strong. You can take some stickers as well for being strong.
The bloods were taken successfully, and with a quick catch up with our consultant, they were finally free to leave the hospital and head for home. And on the way back to the train station, they passed another iconic place which brings back so many memories of when we were in a stage between Teddy's first round of chemotherapy and the start of his second round of chemo, to continue to help kill off the cancer that was riddled through our son's body. In between rounds of chemotherapy, if the child is well enough, they actually allow you time away from the hospital to allow for his body's immune system to recover and regain some strength to be able to cope with the next round of chemotherapy. And one of our first trips out of the hospital was to the world famous toy shop, Hamleys. This felt like a dream, a slice of normality, and for a child that had been confined in the four walls of one hospital room for so long, to not only get to experience some fresh air, Teddy was also able to experience things that a normal child could for the first time since he'd started his treatment. The colours, the sensory overload, and the normality that is two parents taking a child to a toy shop. We wanted to buy him the world, to be able to simply try and show how proud of him we were. Something so simple and small meant the absolute world to us in such a tough time in our lives. And to be able to let him revisit a place which last time we were here, our life and Teddy's life was so far into the unknown, to now him being a normal child walking around a normal toy shop. What a difference. What a milestone, and what a dream. With Hamleys now done, they stopped off to get some lunch whilst they waited for their train home, and of course, with Teddy and his animals in tow. And finally, after a long but positive experience, led by Katie and my mum to make it as comforting and fun for our little boy, ended another successful trip to Great Ormond Street Hospital and another step forward on Teddy's road to recovery against AML leukemia. We woke up the next day for a slower paced morning and we decided to make Teddy a new barn for his animals, in which he decorated out of our new Hoover box. You putting all your animals in our new barn?
Yes.
/ Hoover box.
Yes.
Good job, Didi. And whilst we're on the topic of hoovering, I thought I'd take the opportunity to teach him how to use it, which started off with him sucking the contents out of Mummy's bag, obviously wearing his welly boots on the wrong feet, and he finally got the hang of the fact it was the mud on the floor that needed hoovering. And then he was away, but with the hoovering done, it was finally time for the return of Forest School after 7 weeks off. So we are off to Forest School, and last week we didn't actually make it to Forest School, unfortunately, because the rain was absolutely torrential, and I wasn't actually sure what they did in the event of rain, because what we usually do is all outside in the woods. So today we are going along, even though it is raining. He has got his puddle suit on, and we're going to go and jump in muddy puddles nonetheless and see what it's like. But this week is actually going to be slightly different because unfortunately Teddy's teacher last time is now not with us anymore. So we've got a new teacher, which we've never met before, which may mean new friends, new children, and a whole new experience. So first time back to Forest School, which should be good, and we are very much looking forward to it, aren't we, Ted?
Yeah.
It's going to be good fun. Yes, darling. So you're going to tell me who your cousins are?
Archie.
Archie's your cousin.
Dylan.
Dylan.
Arthur.
Arthur.
And
Maddie. That's 4.
Elle.
Els.
That's 5.
5.
Livy.
Livy.
6.
6. Good boy.
Tommy.
7.
And who else is my cousin?
What about baby
Hanson.
Hanson? 8. I can't remember who we've said and who we haven't said. That's a lot of cousins, isn't it? Well done for remembering them, darling. But just as also a recap regarding Teddy's sort of bloods that he had when he went up to Great Ormond Street Hospital, they all came back pretty good, which is...
I did the bloods all the x-ray.
It's X-ray. Good boy, darling.
Something like the x-ray or my blood.
Bloods are a little bit tickly, aren't they? But you were so super brave, and you had a lovely day after, explore around London after, didn't you? And then you were really good with your bone density scans, your X-rays.
I didn't like to lay down.
You didn't like to lay down, did you? So my mum and Katie had to hold him down and just quickly get it done. But that was all done, so we haven't heard anything back from them yet. But the bloods came back and they all looked pretty normal. There's a couple of things that were potentially slightly low, which we don't really know what means, but he's also got a cough and a cold at the minute, which he is battling, which is slightly annoying because he is coughing. Usually when he lays down to go to bed, it's all just like a build-up of mucus around his chest, which he has to obviously clear throughout the night and in the morning. But that can also affect some of his numbers because if he's fighting an infection, then that shows up in his bloods as well. But nothing that we are overly worried about, which is good. And obviously we are waiting for his chimerism and his donor percentage, which should come in the next 7 to 10 days. So yeah, we're looking forward to another new experience here at Forest School whilst we wait for the bone density scan results and also the results from his chimerism. So yeah, to Forest School. Ted, do you remember the Forest School song?
What?
The song that we sang. It has been 7 weeks since we last went, isn't it?
With Claire.
With Claire, yes. It said, hello.
Oscar, welcome to the woods. Hello, welcome to the woods. Welcome to the woods this morning.
Hello, Daddy. Welcome to the woods.
Hello,
Scott.
Scott. Scott to Forest School.
Why did Scott go to Forest School? Because Scott takes Teddy to Forest School. Because Scott, who you should be calling Daddy, is your daddy. So that's why Scott attends Forest School. And also, if I was your age, I would absolutely love to have attended Forest School. So you're a very lucky boy.
Why are we going to Forest School again?
Because we go once a week to go meet new kids so you can make friends, but also to learn about the wilderness and the nature. And we do lots of lovely things, don't we?
There might be some animals.
There might be some soft animals, but the fact that it's raining, I would think that the soft animals are probably hiding today. But it's all going to be very new to us today, so we're just going to have to...
There might be a squirrel.
There might be a squirrel. Back to Wilderness Wood. Wow, look at this. We haven't been here in such a long time. 7 weeks, Teddy. And now we're back with all the bad weather. Brilliant.
Catherine might be there.
Yeah, I think Catherine will be there.
What's that?
It's a big truck.
Like a monster truck.
Yeah. Into the woods we go. So hold Daddy's hand.
Into the woods we go. Into the woods we go. Paddle!
Come on then, big jump.
That's little.
There it is. Maybe we should find some more. I think there's our new group.
Within seconds, Teddy was straight into the new and improved mud kitchen.
Wow. Look at that, Ted.
Oh, yeah!
You're mixing some acorns. Look at that. It's got its own little guttering system. How clever is that?
Simple step.
Float.
Yes!
Teddy seemed to jump straight back into the swing of things after 7 weeks off, which was so lovely to see. And he really is starting to find that love for being outside now, as it didn't come naturally to him about a year or so ago. It was almost a forced activity for him due to him being so comfortable in his home environment, whereas now he absolutely loves it. But before you knew it, we were all directed straight to forest school to start our morning of activities. It started off with some playing in the mud kitchen, and there was lots of new toys for all the kids to explore and play with, like train tracks and building blocks. There wasn't really much of an activity on today's agenda. There was just painting with pine cones, which, as you can imagine, obviously ended up on Teddy's hands. But Teddy seemed to not want to engage with any of the other kids, as they were all new to him. But he was more than happy and content just simply playing and exploring the toys that they had around the forest, even like throwing conkers down a piece of guttering. He even tried out the new hammock in the woods and absolutely loved it.
All to have the life of Teddy.
Yeah.
Should we get you one for your bedroom? A hammock for your bedroom? Should we get rid of your cot and get you a hammock?
After swinging in the hammock, he remembered the old den he used to play with in last term's forest school.
Yeah, it's all collapsed. Yeah, but it all seems to have fallen down. Let's fix this up. There we go, we've fixed it. And he's returned back to his little den.
Where's Oscar?
Oscar's not here now, darling. I think he's at school.
Big school. Where's Arthur's?
Yes, darling. That's okay, we're going to meet new friends, aren't we?
That wasn't the only time Teddy asked about his old forest school friends from last term, in which unfortunately weren't there anymore. And this potentially could explain the reason why Teddy seemed quite reserved. He had gone right back to where we had started, being independent and playing on his own, which is completely expected for a child who doesn't have a huge amount of interaction with other children on a regular basis. And that is absolutely okay. We hit the reset button and keep going each week until he finally becomes comfortable with what hopefully will be his new set of friends at forest school, which again is great for his learning and development.
Well, that was very different. A whole new class and a whole new teacher. There wasn't one kid in that forest school that we knew or was in our last term, which was kind of a bit weird because I thought he would have some people that he would remember. There's a few names in which he said in the past. Is he going to fly off the end? No. There's a few kids in the past that he really got on with and created like a good little friendship with by the end of the last term. And now it's sort of all reset and back to brand new again, which I guess is school life and childhood education. But yeah, he was just very reserved and was playing by himself and didn't necessarily overly engage. And just a whole new bunch of parents, which was, again, I didn't mind because I was just chatting away to some of them, but it went well. The other thing is as well is that this sort of teacher kind of adopted more of like a kids come and play sort of teaching strategy rather than like this is an activity we're all going to try and sit down and do. And so it just kind of gave the kids free for all time to just play with what they wanted, which I guess for the first session back is probably a good thing, rather than be too regimented, because I'm not sure how well Teddy would have done with that. But yeah, it's the first time that we've been to forest school and I've come away with no sort of creation because he just played. So maybe we'll put a little bit more effort into next week, actually trying to engage him into maybe an activity rather than just letting him play. But yeah, first week back at forest school was a success. The bottom line is it's so nice to have that sort of routine in his life again, and also that interaction with children with tasks and activities set for him to concentrate on. So work in progress, but on to next week. But for now, it's time to head home for a nap, as this little boy is exhausted.
That brings another video to a close. If you like this video, please don't forget to hit the thumbs up, subscribe to our channel if you haven't already, as it's completely free of charge and really helps our channel. A huge thank you to our Life with the Bridges family members, and most importantly, live for today, as tomorrow is never promised. We'll catch you in the next one, chaps, as we have got something really exciting just around the corner.